Be mindful of all the checks that you send and make sure, just kind of keep an accounting of it, because people will take the check and wash it. So they use acetone to clear out the name, and then, or they may like add a zero to it, put another name and deposit it. So just kind of make sure, be mindful of the check that you're writing and make sure that it's to that correct person and the correct amount. If you have a business, some banks offer positive pay, and it's a way for a business. They only offer it to businesses currently. It's a way to not like you enter in the name. So Joe Smith. I wrote a check for $10,000 to Joe Smith. So your bank will know to check it, and if it doesn't say Joe Smith $10,000, they will cash it. So that's called positive pay. So that's what businesses and business banks are. Identity theft. Those free credit reports, I definitely recommend that people take advantage of that. Identity theft is on the rise. And then people who have children, I strongly urge you as well to check your kids' credit reports, because often it is easier now, unfortunately, with the randomization of Social Security numbers now, for someone to steal a child's identity and they start opening up accounts. And a lot of kids don't recognize it until they go off to college, they go to open it for credit card or whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, I have all this debt. So if you have kids, you don't have to do it every year, but every couple of years, check their credit as well, make sure no one's using it, okay? And that's all I really have in my household tips. Any questions for me? Feel free to put me outside.
Working on. So I'm at this table. Just wrapped up an internship in the DC area, working for USA Rice. That's a trade association for the U.S. rice industry in the government relations team. So what's happening in the rice world, government relations with ag, a lot of big international stuff is with the Ukraine war. With the war in Ukraine, Russia had an agreement with Turkey and Ukraine to allow them to export grain through the Black Sea, and they just pulled out of it a couple of days ago and bombed their trade exports. So it's been a big destabilizing things in terms of the international grain market. India, on top of that, just banned exports of white rice from their country, and they about 40% of the world market. So a lot of these changes are happening, and at home, Congress is trying to pass a farm bill. They're doing it a couple of years to keep all the USDA programs in check, even SNAP, a whole bunch of food and nutrition stuff. Essentially, they're being held up because Congress, as we know, is really split between the Democrats and Republicans. It's very tight, and a small couple called the Freedom Caucus and far-right conservatives really won't compromise even for the Republicans. So a lot of stuff is getting held up over there. And I guess that's the wrap on what's happening there. If you have any questions about, what's happening in DC ag world, I guess I'm your guy.
Okay, moving on to business, accounting, finance.
Hello. So I've been in higher education for about 18 years now, working at the University of Delaware. I also work at Disney University curious about FAFSA or just how you go maneuver about that form. If you're looking, trying to find ways to basically defer the cost of tuition, I am your person. I can kind of walk you through all that as far as scholarships, where to find grant money, all the free money for school. It's a lot out there that a lot of parents and students just know about. It's just kind of hanging out waiting for us to apply. So that's kind of where my niche has been for the past 18 months of higher education. Thank you.
I said the same before, education, because retired table is too crowded. And I still dabble in education. I came over here to help the young plan for the time. 401k, state for teachers, don't let anybody tell you not to do it. We also discussed the changing mode of teaching and how us old people teach math one way and the new math is about it's old people crazy. We can't help the children with their homework. And you Google it, you still can't figure it out, you're going to raise, and 5 different ways to multiply to get 2 times 5 is 10. But otherwise, the education system has changed so much since when Jan refused to retire. And I started from a blackboard with chalk to a whiteboard with a fancy pen and pulls of pictures. Children now use phones and tablets, and when the action of media, and we did. It's no longer the teacher standing in front of the class. What we used to call it, stage on stage, instead of down on the side. That was slowly exactly. And us holding in front of children that we used to was smaller we could actually create. And so you had to move along with the change, and that's why I know I had to retire. I just couldn't keep them. But I still tutor children, so Jan, like I said, she's going in for with those children. Love it. She said that every year. I know that. And Danny also like with us coaching, and the young group tell them how to plan for the future, because teachers are definitely needed with some of the school states trying to undo the sound educational strategies. We need people to be there to protect our children and fight for the right education we need to have.
Hello everyone, I know I'm a little late to make a stop this morning, but PG&E and those who I hadn't had the pleasure of being arguing is basically the same practices we still try to provide food, fiber, and fuel to the world. As many of you know, our operation has expanded from Virginia down to Arkansas. I just flew last night from the Delta. We are farming down there. We're also in the rice milling business now. And it's a little different. The South is completely different from up here. The way we farm, flood fields, irrigation is just another concept. So happy to talk about that. I'm assuming trucking and farming, Western Ag probably is the thing that's outside when I heard it. Also, thank you for that. Some of you joined us in Washington, D.C. for the documentary film that I was featuring called Amy Brown. It's a documentary film that focuses on Black land loss. And for those of you who haven't heard about it, you can go to the website amybrownthefilm.com. But it's a documentary that talks about Black land loss across the country. In 1920, there were 1 million Black farmers in the country. African Americans owned 16 million acres of land. Present day, there are less than 15,000 Black commodity farmers around the country. 2 million acres of land in Black land ownership. And that's a 14 million acre gap. And when you quantify that and put some numbers to it, $14 million acres of land multiplied by present land values is over $60 billion of wealth that has been removed from the Black agriculture. we'll never get that back. We're never going to change a transaction that where white family bought the land that shouldn't have, that a black family should have bought 50 years ago, and that land value in $1,000 land purchase is now worth $4,000 or $5,000 land. You won't ever change that. What we're trying to do is just show our community the importance of land. And, when we look at how much land is owned across the country, there's a lot of opportunity. So we just want to encourage those in that space to hold on. I do have the pleasure of serving as chairman of a nonprofit group called the National Black Growers Council. And a group of black farmers around the country, all in the commodity space that's connected to networks, provide outreach and educational opportunities for our communities, for the underserved people. So I spent a lot of time on that. Hosted a big field day in Mississippi yesterday with about 150 people, showcasing rice and soybean and technology. So, any questions on that introduction? I'm free to go. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is the healthcare table. We have a future medical student here. We have a traveling pediatric nurse, Jess. We have two MDs here, and I am a physical therapist. So, one of the latest trends we were talking about in healthcare is Ozempic, which I already want to talk about that. So, as a physical therapist, I can say there's no shortcut. You still should exercise. And I encourage everyone to do that. I can say Donna Elshred, that is, she comes to the office and she's exercising on Swedish, she's lifting weights. So if she's in her 90s, she can do that. Everyone else in our family should be encouraged to do the same thing.
Hello everyone, I'm Lisa Haney. I'm the wife of PJ Haney, and I'm the mother of Colette, Phil, and Trevor. I don't know where Trevor is. I'm a family practice physician. I'm born and raised in Westmoreland County. I've been practicing medicine for almost 30 years now. I was blessed to have the opportunity to go to Spelman College undergrad, went to Morehouse School of Medicine, did my training at family practice in Norfolk, and I came back to the community to work. I always tell folks, there are very few occupations in the northern neck where you are allowed to come back and work in your community, treat your family and friends. So I feel blessed to do that. One thing I'd like to share is, as African Americans, we need to be aware that being black on planet Earth is unhealthy. If you are an African American woman and you get breast cancer, you are 3 times more likely to have a heart attack after your diagnosis. They are doing studies currently at ECU to find out why that is. If you are pregnant in the northern neck, you are more likely to have a death of your baby in the first trimester than in some developing countries. Why is that? These are things that are ignored, and then people study them, then they're ignored again. So what can we do? We need to not be part of the problem. We need to make sure we are taking care of ourselves right away. See your physician regularly. I've had folks say, well, I don't like my doctor. Well, then find another one. There's always someone that you can see that you can relate to. Make sure you're getting the test. And I tell folks, be an advocate. There's a difference between being an advocate and a nuisance. If you go in cursing and fussing, you're a nuisance, and they'll call the police on you. If you're an advocate and you feel that you can't communicate effectively, find someone to speak for you. Because don't let your symptoms get ignored. If you are African American and go into an emergency room with a broken limb, you are less likely to get a narcotic for pain even though you need one. You are automatically judged by your race or ethnicity as soon as you walk in the door. And no, it's not right, but it's the reality. Make sure you ask the questions. Even if it's ridiculous, ask, because if you don't ask, oftentimes people will get given the information. So that's my message to everyone. Always be aware of your symptoms. If something feels bad or feels wrong, please let someone know, because no one will speak for you until you really speak for yourself.
I specialize mostly in obesity and hypertension and heart disease. And in the South, over 82% of people here are obese. And that's a BMI of 30% or above. I can't tell you how many patients I have that come in and they're more concerned about, everything else other than the blood pressure or heart. I've had people that die in front of me. I've had people that have heart attacks in front of me. I've had so many people in my office, and it's just not worth it. So please function on your obesity. Yes, it's Ozempic, yes, it's Mounjaro, yes, it's Wegovy, but it only works in conjunction with diet and exercise. Yes, there are side effects. I have very few people with side effects. So please, take care of your heart, take care of your blood pressure, take care of your kidneys. Over 99% of the people on dialysis are black. Okay? And most of them die within 3 years of dialysis. So I can't tell you the importance of blood pressure. I have children coming up today. So I'm very sorry, I don't have so much to talk about it. He had blood pressure I couldn't even take the machine to measure. It was 300. And we had rushed him to the emergency room. He survived, but barely. So please take care of your blood pressure, take care of your heart rate. Anything above 130 systolic, stop the play with. Anything above 90 diastolic, stop the play with. Your heart is larger, and I call it poopy can't do sugar, because your heart can't pump the blood and it just doesn't work. So please don't get on dialysis. Take care of your blood pressure. Take care of your heart. If you have any questions, Lisa around here to answer all your questions, okay? Thank you. Engineering science.
Hello everyone, so I am D-Rex co-vet who's doing some grandchild. I got selected to speak for science and engineering. So I would like to say that the science and engineering people, we touch everything on shoulders, right? So I'm not a science, so we support the doctors, we support them with the therapists, all the things we can take to help you get right when you have high blood pressure and all that stuff. We have somebody works on soil, so he helps PJ and the farmers. Obviously, the educators to teach everybody how to do everything we do. We have moves. So we got a couple people who do automotive, EV, electronic vehicles. We got people who do networking, radiologists, which is still like one of my favorites. I didn't do it, but I really wanted to get radiologists when I was a kid. Medical device, what was it again? Computer coding. Software engineering, all right, that's a big one. And you were regulatory and soon to be over the education side. You could have picked this up, but you still chose to see what you working on. So I would say that, yeah, it is really important to mind your well-being. As someone who's in diagnostics, so our primary focus is when you don't feel well, we're the people who make the different reagents and have the machinery that figure out what's wrong with it. So we say, when we send your lab tests out, they're going to labs and they use their products in there. And then those products and those instruments are usually typically help with networking, those types of things as well. So we have a variety of different skill sets, so we all touch like everyone else's livelihood as well.
Thank you, Stacey. Last but certainly not least, where we all aspire to be one day. The retiree table. This is spokesperson. Jack.
I got it. We're staying through this. Partially biased. I guess first of all, talking about our group, the question that we were trying to answer is, what do we need to tell the working folks that we know based on our work experience. There's a group of us here that work either in government, education, or for private businesses. It's basically what covered everybody. And if we were to add up the number of years, I don't know what it is, it's probably 300 years, and if you were to add how many jobs that there have been, I don't know, we didn't ask, but I'm guessing that number is somewhere between 15 to 20. That's saying that the majority of the people at this table work for the same company for a long, long time, which is probably not true for those that are in the workforce today or those that are entering the workforce in the near future. So the takeaways that we came up with is first and foremost is work ethic. You have to have a good work ethic. You don't go to the job just to get paid. You don't go to the job just to be better than the weakest person in the lake. You want to focus on trying to be the best person. Because if you have a good work ethic, you don't really know who may notice that from you, and you don't know who may give you an opportunity in the future that you didn't know about. So we had work ethic as being one of the key items that we should focus on. Another one was, in the majority of your jobs, you are going to be part of a team. So work is a team sport. It's not an individual sport. It's not boxing. It's basketball. So you want to be on a winning team, and you should try to be the best person on the team, or at least a contributor on the team. But think of work as a team activity, and focus on making your team better. And as Craig told me once, a rising tide raises all the boats. So be on the winning team. You should live for today, but save for tomorrow. You may be 25 years old and you're making all this money, but it's going to come to an end. And hopefully your employment end and your life expectancy end aren't the same. So you need to really save for the future. What else did we have? You need to be willing to reinvent yourself or to potentially improve your skill sets as you go through your life, your employment life. Things will change. So if I had to say something to a group 30 years ago, I wouldn't be looking down on notes on the phone. So things are going to change. And you have to change with the times. So, did I basically cover what we... Okay. So, and we're all willing to be a consultant. If you want to hire us and pay us, Thompson.com.
In this room, at least this is a perfect opportunity that we can share with one another and everybody break out. So I'm going to take a minute and everybody move back to their tables that they were at. They can do that at this time. And then we're going to... From that branch, you now see us. They had 13 children. Their oldest daughter was Gertie Beanie, and she married Robert. Some of the pictures that you see behind us will be different snapshots of different family members, thanks to Kimberly Haney, who put all this together for us. The next child was James Robert, and nobody probably knows who that is because we call him Buster. And he was married to Lavinia. Oh, go back. Aunt Gertie had 7 children. She had Reuben May, let me see if I can remember. Reuben May, I might not have them in order. Reuben May, Robert James, Francis, Eleanor, Bernard, and Sibian, and her oldest daughter, Dorothy Lee. And Sibian,
Francis, and Reuben May are still with us. Uncle Buster was married to Lavinia, and his 2 children were Lois Ann and James. And they were called Doogie and Mickey, so you probably didn't know their real names. And both of them are deceased. Uncle Melvin was married to Aunt Beatrice, and they had 3 sons, Raymond, Melvin Lee, and Laverne, and the 3 of them are also deceased. Raymond also had a twin, but only lived for a few days. Aunt Lucy was married to James, or Jim, Payne, and Aunt Lucy had 1 child, and that's Cousin Allie. And Cousin Allie didn't know whether she wanted to be a sibling or a first cousin. So she used it to her advantage. Sometimes she was the sister of them, and then sometimes she was our first cousins. And Cousin Ellen, as you know, she's passed, and her family is sitting over that table. The next one is Alvin Wesley. Everybody don't know who that is because we called him Joe. He was married to Aunt Grizel, and they had Al. And I don't know what, Brenda was supposed to be here. Brenda and Josette. Josette is deceased, and we also were blessed with the twins, Adele and Grizel, and their brother Ollie. Aunt Pearl was married to Maurice Jackson. Pearl actually had a double, she was Garnet Pearl, so she was 2 jewels. They gave her 2 jewels in her name. And we called Uncle Maurice Morris instead of Maurice. 3 kids, Thompson, Craig, and Annette. Samuel Booker, his name was, everybody called him T, so that's another one you didn't know who's that. So we called him T. He has 6 children. Debbie and Samuel. He actually has 2 sons named after him, Samuel, and we called him Sputnik, Stanley, Marlene, and Darlene. Liz had 2 kids, and she was married to Louis Pastel, and her 2 children were Tony and Lawanda, and we know that Tony has passed, and Lawanda is in Chicago and couldn't make it today. Mama Jenny, her real name was Gladys Virginia, and we all called her Mama Jenny. She was married to Philip Haney, and out of her branch, she had Philip II, who we all call Ricky, Janice, Karen, and Wesley. Aunt Doris was the next child, and she was married to Arthur Betts, and we all called him Buddy. And she had 6 kids, and that's Dee Dee, T.M., Michael, Gail, Arthur, and Maurice. But Mama said they'll always be Junior and Reese. After they got grown and married, they changed their name. Okay, my mother, Donnell, had the 3 of us, and she's still very upset because she's not a grandmother. Philip, we called her Buster, Tammy, and yours truly, Susan. Mommy Ova was married to Daniel Connor. She'll get mad at me because she married a school teacher. She had 5 children. Cheryl, who recently passed, Danette, Daniel, Odine, and her baby girl Gladys died a few days after she was born. And Uncle Lawrence was married to Aunt Terry, and Uncle Lawrence had 3 daughters, Shirlene, Sandra, who is deceased, and Michelle. And so that's the 13 children of Susie and Wesley Thompson. And at this time, we have some special gifts to give to all of us are special, but we do have some gifts to give to some people. And we will do that at this time.
Did you get a birthday gift? They gonna give you a birthday gift? My birthday. You're just gonna show me my birthday party with a birthday gift, my birthday.
There are two of our aunts who, Aunt Inez and Aunt Terry, are still with us. And so we have a gift for them. I don't know if Michelle wants to open Aunt Terry's gift and show it to the family or not, but I'm gonna ask that Michelle sees that Aunt Terry gets her gift, and that we ask Dee Dee if you would see that Aunt Inez get her gift. Okay? These two people have no idea that they're getting a gift. But Rosalind kept us together during the pandemic. We had Zoom meetings for anybody that chose to join the Zoom meetings. And my mama didn't quite know what it was at first. But once she understood, she said, when are we gonna have them Zoom meetings? She enjoyed them. And it was a time that our family, even though we were all over the United States, we could all sign in. And so to Rosalind, for keeping us together during that pandemic, and for doing all the other extra things that you did for the family reunion, like this beautiful Thompson family reunion plaque with Papa West and Mama Susie on it and their children, the family reunion backdrop, the family reunion book. If you've not signed that book, please make sure you sign and register before you leave. And so to Rosalind, we say thank you. I think we kind of had a little bit of a challenge earlier this year when some of the land that our grandparents owned was up for sale. There's one person in this family that we don't know how to thank her enough, because without her, I don't know if we were able to keep the land in our family. But she got her realtor, her lawyer, and everybody involved. And without Melanie, I know we wouldn't have been able to save our cemetery and the land that our grandparents purchased. And so Melanie, we love you and we thank you. And you can't spend any of that on Daniel. All right, is Ricky here yet? No. Bring him in here, please. Can we get Ricky? This was Ricky's idea. After we did go through the issue with the land, Ricky said we really need to get together as a family and have another family reunion. And it was on one of the Zoom meetings, I think it was in March, and he kind of said, Susan, you're in charge. And I'm like, and all these nice young people said, I'll help. So all I was a mouthpiece, and I'll introduce our group later, but they really did all the work. You got your daddy?
Yeah, he left. He's trying to get ready, but he's getting stuff straight for this evening.
Okay. So we're going to present Ricky's gift so that you all can see it to his, I'll have two of his kids to show it to us. But Ricky is so much of a family man, and he now is missing this, which it was his idea, so he can get everything straight for our boat ride, which he has completely donated. Ricky is paying all this expenses for the boat ride. And he's also going to host everybody at his office in Burgess after we get off the boat to play cards or just to hang out a little longer. And so if one of his children could come up, or two of them, and we're going to open his gift, and then we're going to put it back in. I really want y'all to see it. Can y'all show his gift, please? Open it up. Probably the two of y'all need to hold it. Turn it that way. So that's what we got for this. And you know, we have 2 of the 13 children still with us, and that's such a blessing. I ask all the teenagers and young children in this room to make sure you greet and speak to Mama Elba and Mama Darnell before you leave. You want to tap their thoughts now and get the family history from them while they're still here. So please make sure it's not a young, well, I want everybody to greet them, but not a young person in this room leave that you haven't greeted them and talked to them and try to get to know something else about the history of the family. So we have gifts for them as well. And I need some handsome, tall, young men. I ain't call you Daniel, I said young. I'm gonna need at least, well, we're gonna show them. We're gonna let them open it. You can give it to them, let them open it, then we're gonna let everybody see it. Mama, ever you wanna open your gift, and Mama open your gift, and then we're gonna let everybody to see them. Okay, so Brandon and Aaron, would y'all like to hold those up, please? Thank you, Aaron. They're just alike. They're just alike. They're just alike. Mama stays cold all the time, so now she can wrap up with a whole lot of people to keep her warm. This day is also very special because this is Mama Darcy's birthday. Her kids were really excited when we decided to have the family reunion on her birthday. They thought it was an honor. And so now we're going to pay a special tribute to Mama Doris because she was the last sibling to pass, and many of us were able to attend her funeral just a few months ago. We're going to ask for Terry and Carla to come up, and we will ask for one of Aunt Darcy's children to come up and light a candle in her memory, and any of her kids that would like to say something are welcome to come up and say, if you have anything you'd like to say. Will one of y'all light the candle in Aunt Darcy's memory? And while the candle is being lit, Paula and Terry are going to bless us with a song. Anyone know where the other mic went? It's over there.
There will be mountains that I will have to climb, and there will be battles that I will have to fight.
Victory or defeat, it's up to me to decide. How can I expect to win if I never try? I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. And nobody told me the road would be easy. And I don't believe he's brought me this far. I don't believe he's brought me this far. I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me.
Amen.
Thank you. That was T-Soul and Carla. Carla, what's your name on KK? KP. And she is just as busy as T-Soul now. You got to give them your information so they can follow you. Oh, you got your, okay. Oh, you were supposed to give us your business card so we could put them in the bags. Okay. Dee Dee, did you want to say something?
I like all my family to stand. Mama Dawes, as everybody knows, loves to talk. And she talked and talked, and one day she didn't talk anymore. And we knew things were going to be different. We miss her so much. Thank you so much.
I need one of my committee folks again. If you could give that to Mama Elva, and if you could give that to Mama Donnell, and we're going to continue with our memorial service. We will have Mama Donnell and Mama Elva place a white rose in the vase, one for Papa West and one for Mama Susie. The one white one will go in Mama Elva's vase, and one will go in Mama Donnell's. White roses to represent Papa West and Mama Susie. And we know the 11 siblings have died, and so we will alternate the yellow and pink roses to represent each of the deceased children. No, alternate. Mom is put them in your vase, Mama Elva, you get to take that home. We also know that we have lost a lot of our family members. And at this time, anybody that would like to get a flower and put it in the vase in the memory of one of your family members, you can come up at this time and do so. And if you would like to say who you're putting it in honor of, you can do so at that time. in memory of, you can do as well.
This is in memory of my mother, who passed a few months ago.
Anybody else?
This is the memory of my father who passed in 2020. He loved family together as much as anyone.
We really miss those Thanksgivings at the Falls' house.
I didn't know this was about to be this time, but my first cousin, Dr. Stephanie Pace, Uncle Brandon's daughter. This is from my sister Sandra. She actually passed 3 years ago this month.
Come on, family members.
This is for my wife, Radon, who passed away a couple years ago. So it's for my family.
This flower is for my brother Harvey Daniel Scott Haney.
And this flower is for my mom, Aline.
Anybody else? Well, it's a blessing that we have not had that many family members to pass, but we made sure we had enough, even if you want to go back 10, 15 years, we want you to do so. All right, I know that brought some tears, but we certainly have to honor those who, I know that brought some tears, but we certainly have to honor those who have been an intimate part of our lives, but are no longer here physically. But we still have many, many wonderful and great memories of all of them. At this time, I would like for the committee members to come up. Now y'all see all these young ladies and my one old self. When Ricky put me in charge, I'm glad they all spoke up and said, Susan, I'll help. And I wouldn't have been able to come up and create all of this without them. Bunny LaShare, the gifts that was given, she ordered all of those and saw that they were shipped here on time and made sure they were ready for the family reunion. Bunny has also donated some bags, and we will see that everybody get a gift bag before you leave. Rosalind, I've already shared what she's done, but she's, just a jewel. Tammy, and Anita might have, where's Anita? Tammy and Anita might have had the hardest job, was keeping up with the finances. They met and opened an account in our spreadsheet, and they were talking about Cash App and Zelle, and I was like, what is Zelle? What are you talking about? But I thank the two of them for doing an excellent job. Tammy's spreadsheet even knows who's going on the boat, who's going to church tomorrow, what time you're going to the bathroom, and she had it down. So we thank her, her and Anita for that task. I think Tammy was mad at me because I volunteered. She said, I do this for work all day long. I don't want to do this again, but she did an excellent job. And so Janelle, Cheryl, we all call her Janelle. If you look in the back before we cut the cake, Janelle saw that the cake was ordered, and the cakes look just like us. It has a shirt just like we got on. And Janelle has put together, she's gonna do a raffle ticket later, and we're also gonna do a 50-50 raffle. You do not have to participate, it's up to you. 50-50 means whatever is collected, you keep 50 of it, and the other 50 is going to the Thompson Family Cemetery. So Janelle is in charge of all the raffles. She has also donated some of the things that you're gonna find in your gift bag. All right? Miss Tori, you see all the pretty little name tags? She done those for us, and she also, was just so sweet. She gave donated the money for the bounce house for the kids to play in, and so we thank her. This is our banker, Carisha. She works at Premise Bank in Callio, and she was we try to have a representative from every family. And so, Dee, I don't know what happened to you. You fell out on us. So she did an excellent job making sure we had the bounce house. She has a cornhole game here, and so she took charge of some of the games and all that we have outside. And Michelle also, she didn't do quite as much. She's in New Jersey, but she came to all the meetings, and she also had her business folder in the gift bags. And so the committee will see that the gift bags get to everybody. One of the things that are in every gift bag is a picture of Mama Susie and Papa West. We do not want anybody to leave here today that you don't have a picture of Mama Susie and Papa West in your home, because that's how we all got started. And so there are other goodies in the bag. PJ has donated rice, and so we all get to sample the rice from his rice farm, and so there's a pack of rice in your bag. So when you go to enjoy your rice, you can think about our family reunion. And we thank PJ for donating that, and Rosalind and Suzette and Gillette for putting the bags together. Okay. All right, thank you. We have already blessed the food, and so Crystal and Kenny, we're turning it over to you.
Thompson's second annual family reunion. And this is the cruise going on a boat ride.
Talk about Brooklyn PJ House, I've never they overhaul?
Saying on Danica, man. Oh, she said, oh, Lord, no.
Like the big old small.
It's nice, isn't it? It's nice up here. Are you going there? Are you going up? Okay. You okay?
I can. How's it going, buddy?
This ain't no remix, this is
kiss on the collarbone, soft caress of happiness. Ooh, the way you walk your style of dress,
just like a queen, queen on a throne. Was a sweet, sweet thing I knew.
I asked him if he would let me sing.
You don't know, babe, when you hold me and kiss me slowly, it's the sweetest thing. Yeah, and it don't change. If I had it my way, you would know that you are. You're the comfort that I need in the morning. You're the sunshine in the rain when it's pouring. Won't you give yourself to me? Give it all. Yeah, I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow, no matter how far. If life is a movie, then you're the best part.
Trying to let you know just how I really feel about you. Cause since I met you, I don't think I wanna live without you. You keep me laughing, baby girl, it's just something about you that makes me feel like you are special. And every time I see your face, I crack a smile. You warm me up inside, and baby, I'm so happy now. Whenever you call, I blush just like a little child. Now could it be that I am falling for you? Passion and romance, chemistry when we hold